Hey everybody, so excited to talk about memory. I know I've done that a lot over the last year. My new book, Memory Rescue, is out in stores. And the book is just filled with great stories. But one story I didn't tell that is probably in the top 3 favorite stories of my whole life, at least professional life, is, I don't know if any of you have had a difficult dad. Well, mine, actually, his favorite word when I was growing up started with a B, and then the second word that he attached to it was with an S. So if you just put that together, his next favorite word was no. And when I told him I wanted to be a psychiatrist in 1980, he asked me why I didn't want to be a real doctor. So, I mean, who does that to their own child, right? So it just highlights our relationship. He's painfully honest and never listened to me until about 4 years ago when he got sick. You know, ever since I'd been doing brain imaging and I'm like, oh, you got to get physically healthy to keep your brain healthy. He would never listen to me. I mean, you know, in 1980, when I told him I wanted to be a psychiatrist, he asked me why I wanted to be a nut doctor and hang out with nuts all day long. And then, you know, 1991, when we started looking at people's brains, I'm like, Pop, you need to get physically healthy because, you know, we published a couple of studies that said as your weight goes up, the size and function of your brain goes down. And I start bothering him about losing weight, getting healthy. And he said, oh, great. Now you're a health nut. What is it with you and nuts? Plus he told me, and he said this many times, he said, I don't get heart attacks, I give them. So this is my dad. But then a number of years ago, he developed a heart arrhythmia and then developed congestive heart failure. And it got to the point where I thought we were going to lose him. And as difficult as he is, I adore him. And so one day he stopped driving. I mean, he's still going to work 5 days a week. He owns a chain of grocery stores. He was the chairman of the board of a huge corporation. And he couldn't go to work. And one day he looked depressed. And he looked at me and he said, Danny, I'm sick of being sick. What do you want me to do? And he's so stubborn. He did everything I asked him to do. In fact, over the next 6 months, he lost 40 pounds, his energy soared, he and I started working out. One Sunday, we lifted over 2,000 pounds together, you know, with all the reps and everything. And as part of getting well, what we do with our patients at Amen Clinics, you got to change your lifestyle, you got to change your diet, your habits need to go up. And we use regular supplementation. Why? Because we're so excited about the science of supplementation. And so for all of our patients, I recommend you take a multiple vitamin. Why? 97% of the population does not eat a balanced diet according to the CDC. Omega-3 fatty acids, just absolutely essential. We actually did a study here at Amen Clinics. We looked at 50 consecutive patients who came to see us who were not taking fish oil. 49 of them, so 98% of them, had significantly low levels of omega-3 fatty acids in their blood. And I published a study with my colleagues in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease this year that showed low levels of omega-3 in your body go with low levels of an area of the brain called the hippocampus and parahippocampus, the major memory structures in the brain. So this is a very important step. And then what we did in a published study We used multiple vitamin, omega-3 fatty acids, and a brain boost that works in multiple ways, and found it significantly enhanced memory and blood flow to the brain. What I got so excited about in 1991, when I started looking at the scans of my patients, I realized some of the medicines were not all that good for their brain. And so I started doing research on, well, what are natural ways to optimize brain function? And now there are literally thousands of scientific studies. So if you go to pubmed.com and you type in omega-3 fatty acids, you'll actually literally get over 1,000 returns, and there are studies showing that omega-3 fatty acids, for example, significantly support things like memory and mood, learning and attention. The science is there. I mean, that's what I get so excited about, looking at multiple vitamins. And the ones that are particularly important are B6, B12, folate, not folic acid, folate, and vitamin D have all been shown to have cognitively supporting effects, which is why I take them every day. And then, so let me get back to the story of my dad. So he starts taking the supplements. Now, this is someone who's been fairly critical in my life. One of the things we developed at BrainMD was I decided, because I travel a lot, I didn't want to take a lot of bottles with me. I said, how can I put the things I need in 2 packets a day? And so we put a multiple vitamin, omega-3 fatty acids, high dose, high quality. This is what I take. So I'm trying to get the highest quality possible. And then a brain boost, something we call brain and memory power boost, which helps to support your brain in many ways. So it has ginkgo and vinpocetine for blood flow. So scientific studies show they increase blood flow to the brain. Also, N-acetylcysteine, which is a super antioxidant, boosts something called glutathione, also helps with detoxification. Alpha-lipoic acid helps stabilize blood sugar, so important for brain function. One of my favorite ones, Huperzine A, which has been shown to boost acetylcholine availability in the brain. Acetylcholine is the neurotransmitter that's involved with memory and learning. Also acetyl L-carnitine, mitochondrial energy, and phosphatidylserine, which helps support nerve cell membranes. And there are over 20 studies showing that phosphatidylserine can help with memory. And people go, well, why are you throwing the kitchen sink at people? And because what we learned is that the brain doesn't get in trouble in one way, that you actually have to fight the war on multiple fronts. And I remember sitting at my dad's kitchen table as he's filling out his supplement thing each week, and he just looked at the 2 packets, and he looked at me, he said, that's really brilliant. Who came up with that idea? And I'm like, it was me, because I travel a lot and I wanted something simple. And this is typically the product we use most here at Amen Clinics with our patients. But as we've been doing this for a couple of years now, some of our patients look at the packets and they go, there's 14 capsules in there. I can't take 14. I mean, for me, it's like, it's 2 handfuls, I'm done. It's not a big deal. Maybe it's because I have a big mouth, I don't know. So what we just launched, for those people who think this is onerous, we just created our Bright Minds memory powder. And this, 1 scoop in a glass of water, or put it in your shake with almond milk, and 1 scoop a day, and you're done. Except it doesn't have the omega-3 capsules, because it's really hard to get fish oil in powder that you actually make it taste good. So 2 options for you. Brain and Body Power Max, 2 simple packets a day, easy as can be, but if you don't like swallowing the pills, Bright Minds Memory Powder, but you also have to take an omega-3 fatty acid with that. So I had to tell you that story about my dad because it makes me happy, and I want you to support your brain.